The coffee in Dr. Lisa Martinez's cup had gone cold hours ago, but she didn't notice. Her eyes were locked on the strange readings dancing across her computer screen. The numbers made no sense. According to her instruments, there was something huge floating in empty space, but when she looked through the ship's cameras, she saw nothing. "Captain Thompson, you need to see this," she called across the bridge of the UHS Explorer. Captain Jake Thompson walked over to her station. He was a tall man with gray hair and kind eyes. He had been exploring space for 20 years, but he had never seen readings like these. "What am I looking at, Lisa?" he asked. "Something big. Really big. My sensors say there's an object out there that's about 50 miles long, but we can't see it. It's like it's hiding in space itself." Thompson frowned. "Could it be a sensor error? I ran the tests 5 times. The readings are the same every time." Lisa pointed to her screen. "Look at these gravity readings. Whatever is out there, it's bending space around itself." Commander Ryan Davis looked up from his weapons station. He was young but smart, and he knew danger when he heard it. "Captain, should we move away?" "Not yet," Thompson said. "Lisa, can you tell what it is?" Lisa's fingers moved quickly over her keyboard. More numbers filled her screen. "It's not natural, Captain. This thing was built by someone, and it's old. Really old. Maybe millions of years." Lieutenant Amy Foster turned from her communication station. She was the ship's expert on alien languages and technology. "Captain, I'm picking up some kind of signal from that area. It's very weak, but it's there. Can you understand it?" Amy shook her head. "It's not like any alien language I know. But there are patterns. It might be some kind of computer system." Thompson made his decision. "Take us closer, but keep our shields up. Lisa, I want every sensor we have pointed at that thing." The Explorer moved slowly through space toward the invisible object. As they got closer, Lisa's readings became stronger. She could see the shape of whatever was hidden out there. It was long and thin, like a giant sword floating in space. "Captain," Lisa said, her voice worried, "I'm getting energy readings now. This thing isn't completely dead." "What kind of energy?" "I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. It's not nuclear power or fusion. It's something else. Something that works with dark matter." Amy suddenly sat up straight at her station. "Captain, I'm getting more signals. These are newer. Someone has been talking to this thing recently." "How recently?" "Days. Maybe hours." The bridge became quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. Something ancient and powerful was floating in space near them, and someone was trying to use it. Thompson walked to the center of the bridge. "Ryan, are there any ships in the area?" Ryan checked his screens. "Nothing on sensors, Captain. But if this thing can hide itself, maybe other ships can too." Lisa continued studying her readings. The more she learned, the more worried she became. "Captain, I think I know what this is. The energy patterns, the way it bends space. I think it's a weapon." "What kind of weapon?" "The kind that could destroy planets, maybe even whole star systems." Thompson felt a chill run down his back. "Are you sure?" "The math is clear. This thing could make a star go supernova. It could kill everything in a solar system." Amy's voice was excited. "Captain, I broke part of the code. The signals I'm picking up, they're instructions. Someone is programming this weapon." "Can you tell who?" Amy worked on her computer for several minutes. The language patterns match the Valdran Empire. They're a military race from the other side of the galaxy. But there are other voices too. It sounds like several different alien species working together. Lisa's screen flashed red. "Captain, the weapon is powering up. Very slowly, but it's definitely activating." Thompson looked around at his crew. They were all young and brave, but they were facing something beyond anything they had trained for. "Amy, can you record everything? All the signals, all the data?" "Already doing it, Captain." "Lisa, how long before this thing is fully powered?" Lisa studied her readings. "Hard to say. Could be days, could be weeks, but it's definitely getting ready to fire." Ryan spoke from his station. "Captain, if this thing can destroy star systems, we need to warn Earth." "We will. But first, we need to learn everything we can. Thompson turned to Amy. Keep working on those signals. I want to know who's behind this and what they're planning. Amy nodded and went back to her computer. After an hour, she had more answers. Captain, I've decoded more of the messages. They're planning to test the weapon on what they call primitive worlds. They want to show other alien races how powerful they are. Test it on which worlds? Amy's face went pale. The messages mention Earth, Captain, and several other planets with young civilizations. The bridge became silent again. Everyone understood the danger now. Somewhere in space, powerful alien races were planning to destroy Earth and other worlds to prove how strong they were. Lisa looked up from her sensors. Captain, I'm detecting more activity. The weapon is scanning nearby space. I think it's looking for targets. Thompson made another decision. We're leaving now. Amy, make sure you have all the data recorded. We need to get this information back to Earth. Captain, Ryan said, shouldn't we try to stop them? Thompson looked at the young officer. With what? We're one small ship, and we don't even know how many enemies are out there. Our job now is to warn everyone who will listen. The explorer began moving away from the hidden weapon. As they left, Lisa's sensors showed more activity. The ancient device was definitely waking up after millions of years of sleep. How long do we have? Thompson asked. Lisa shook her head. I don't know, Captain. This technology is so advanced I can barely understand it. Could be months, could be years. But once it's fully active, it could destroy worlds in minutes. Amy looked up from her station. Captain, I intercepted one more message. The aliens are calling this Operation Silent Star. They plan to destroy several worlds without warning, then demand that other alien races surrender or face the same fate. Thompson nodded grimly. Then we need to make sure those warnings get delivered. Amy, prepare a message for Earth Command. Tell them we have discovered a threat unlike anything humanity has ever faced. As the explorer jumped to faster than light speed, heading home with its terrible news, the ancient weapon continued its slow awakening in the darkness of space. Soon, it would be ready to bring death to entire worlds, and the only ones who knew about it were a small human crew racing against time to save not just their own planet, but all life in the galaxy. The UHS Explorer docked at Earth Station 3 after the fastest journey Captain Thompson had ever made. He didn't waste time with the usual procedures. Within an hour, he was sitting in the largest meeting room on the station, facing the most important people in human space defense. Admiral Patricia Wells sat at the head of the long table. She was a small woman with silver hair, but everyone in the room knew she was the toughest person in the Earth Defense Force. Next to her sat General Kevin Brooks, a big man with a deep voice who controlled all of Earth's military ships. Show them what we found, Thompson said to Dr. Lisa Martinez. Lisa connected her computer to the room's big screen. The alien weapon appeared as a glowing outline against the darkness of space. The room fell silent as she explained what they had discovered. This weapon is older than human civilization, Lisa said, but someone is getting ready to use it. The energy readings show it slowly powering up. Admiral Wells leaned forward. How sure are you about what this thing can do? Very sure, Admiral. The math is clear. This weapon can destroy entire star systems by making their suns explode. General, Brooks spoke in his deep voice. Who's controlling it? Lieutenant Amy Foster stepped forward. Sir, we recorded dozens of communications. The main group is the Valdran Empire, but they're working with other alien races. They call themselves the Dominion Alliance. What do they want? Admiral Wells asked. Amy looked nervous, but she answered clearly. They want to rule the galaxy, Admiral. Their plan is to destroy a few worlds first, to show how powerful they are. Then they'll demand that everyone else surrender. Which worlds? Brooks asked, though everyone in the room already feared the answer. Earth is on their list, General. So are the Zentari Federation worlds, the Altair trade planets, and about 20 other civilizations. The room became very quiet. Finally, Admiral Wells spoke. We need to warn everyone. If we work together, maybe we can stop this. Thompson nodded. That's what I was thinking, Admiral, but we need to move fast. Admiral Wells turned to Ambassador Carol Hughes, who had been sitting quietly at the other end of the table. Carol was Earth's best diplomat. She had spent years learning alien languages and customs. Carol, I need you to contact every alien government we know. Send them everything we have about this weapon. Carol stood up. I'll start immediately, Admiral. But I should warn you, most alien races don't take humans very seriously. They think we're too young and primitive to understand galactic politics. Then, we'll have to make them listen, General Brooks said. Over the next few days, Carol and her team worked around the clock. They sent messages to 40 different alien civilizations. Amy Foster helped translate the technical data into languages that alien scientists could understand. The first response came from the Centauri Federation. Captain Thompson was in the communication room when the message arrived. The Centauri ambassador appeared on the screen. He was tall and thin with blue skin and 4 arms. Humans, the ambassador said in a bored voice, your warning has been received. However, the Centauri Federation does not believe your primitive sensors could detect technology beyond your understanding. We suggest you focus on your own small problems and leave galactic security to more experienced races. The message ended. Thompson felt angry, but he wasn't surprised. The next response came from the Altair Collective. Their message was even shorter. The Altair Collective acknowledges human communication. We do not require assistance from species that have not yet achieved true space travel. Do not contact us again with unfounded fears. More responses came. Over the following days, the Helios Republic sent a message saying humans were clearly confused about what they had found. The Orion Trade Union said human technology was too basic to detect real threats. Only 3 small alien governments seemed to take the warning seriously, but they were too weak to do anything about it. Amy Foster spent her days trying to contact the Valdran Empire directly. Maybe if we talk to them, we can make them stop, she said. It took a week, but finally the Valdrans responded. The message came from Supreme Commander Thektar himself. He appeared on the screen wearing black armor covered in strange symbols. His face looked like a mixture of human and reptile features. Humans, Thektar said, his voice full of contempt. Your pathetic attempt to interfere with Dominion business has been noted. You are an infant species that knows nothing of real power. When the time comes, your world will serve as an excellent demonstration of what happens to those who try to stand against us. The message continued for several more minutes. Thektar explained that humans were so primitive that their warnings were meaningless noise. He said the Dominion Alliance had been planning their campaign for decades, and no baby race could stop them. When the message ended, the communication room was silent. Thompson felt a chill in his chest. The enemy wasn't just ignoring their warning, they were laughing at it. Carol Hughes tried a different approach. She sent personal messages to alien leaders she had met during trade negotiations. Some of these aliens had seemed friendly during peaceful times. The responses were all similar. The aliens thanked her for her concern, but they didn't believe humans could understand advanced alien technology. Several suggested that humans had probably found an old piece of space junk and misunderstood what it was. Dr. Lisa Martinez worked with Earth's best scientists to double-check all their data. Maybe we made a mistake, she said to Thompson one evening. Maybe the weapon isn't as dangerous as we think, but the more they studied the recordings, the more certain they became. The ancient device was definitely a weapon, and it was definitely being prepared for use. General Brooks called another meeting after 2 weeks of sending warnings. How many alien governments have taken us seriously? He asked Carol. 3 small ones, General. Everyone else has either ignored us or told us we're wrong. Admiral Wells looked tired. What about the Valdran response? Amy Foster played Thektar's message again. Everyone in the room heard the alien commander's threats and insults. He's not just ignoring our warning, Thompson said. He's promising to destroy Earth as an example to other worlds. Admiral Wells stood up slowly. Then we need to prepare for the worst. If the other alien races won't listen to our warnings, we'll have to be ready to defend ourselves. General Brooks nodded. I'll start moving our fleets into defensive positions around Earth and our colonies. Dr. Martinez spoke up. General, I've been studying the weapon's energy patterns. I think we might be able to build shields that could protect our planets, at least partially. How long would that take? Admiral Wells asked. Months, maybe a year. And we'd need resources from all of Earth's colonies. Admiral Wells made her decision. Do it. Start building whatever defenses you can, and keep sending warnings to the alien governments. Maybe when they see the weapon being prepared, they'll finally listen. But deep in her heart, Admiral Wells feared it would be too late. The galaxy's most powerful races had dismissed humanity's warnings as the confused fears of a primitive species. Soon, they would learn just how wrong they were, but the lesson would cost billions of lives. 3 months had passed since the humans first sent their warnings. Dr. Lisa Martinez worked day and night in her laboratory on Earth Station 5, trying to build shields that could protect planets from the ancient weapon. Her team of scientists included Dr. Robert Kane, who understood physics better than anyone, and Commander Lisa Park, who could build anything if given the right materials. The energy patterns are unlike anything we've seen before, Dr. Kane said, looking at the test results on his screen. This weapon doesn't just destroy things with explosions. It changes the basic forces that hold atoms together. Commander Park wiped sweat from her forehead. But our shields are working in the small tests. If we can build them big enough, they might protect a whole planet. Lisa Martinez nodded, but she looked worried. The problem is power. These shields need more energy than most planets can produce. We can maybe protect Earth and a few colonies, but not everyone. Meanwhile, General Kevin Brooks was preparing Earth's military for war. He had moved every available ship to defensive positions around human worlds. The Earth Defense Force had never been stronger, but Brooks knew it wouldn't be enough against the Dominion Alliance. Admiral Patricia Wells spent her days in the command center, watching reports from across the galaxy. Most alien governments were still ignoring human warnings, but a few small ones had started building their own defenses. On a cold Tuesday morning, Lieutenant Amy Foster burst into the command center with urgent news. Admiral, I'm picking up massive communication activity from Valdrin Space. They're giving final orders to their fleet commanders. Admiral Wells felt her heart sink. How long do we have? The messages suggest they're ready to begin testing the weapon. Maybe days, maybe hours. In another part of the station, Captain Jake Thompson was preparing for a mission that everyone knew was probably suicide. He would command the newly built UHS Defender, leading a small fleet of human ships to whatever system the aliens chose as their first target. Our job isn't to stop the weapon, Thompson told his crew. We can't do that. Our job is to witness what happens and make sure the galaxy knows the truth. Commander Ryan Davis, now serving as Thompson's tactical officer, checked their weapons one more time. Captain, our ships have the new shields Dr. Martinez built. They might keep us alive long enough to record everything. Thompson nodded. Let's hope so. The answer came at 3 a.m, Earth time. Amy Foster's equipment picked up the final Valdrin transmission. Supreme Commander Thektar was giving the order to fire. The target is the Zentari home system, Amy reported to Admiral Wells. They chose it because the Zentari publicly mocked our warnings last month. Admiral Wells immediately contacted Thompson. Jake, you need to leave now. Get to the Zentari system as fast as possible. The small human fleet jumped to faster than light speed. Thompson's ships included the Defender, 2 smaller vessels called the Guardian and the Shield, and a science ship named the Observer. Dr. Martinez had insisted on coming along to study the weapon's effects. It took them 18 hours to reach Zentari space. When they arrived, they found a beautiful system with a bright yellow sun and 7 planets. The 3rd planet was green and blue, home to 8 billion Zentari people. Captain, Ryan Davis reported, I'm detecting Zentari defense ships throughout the system. Looks like they have about 200 vessels on patrol. Dr. Martinez was already scanning space for the ancient weapon. I found it, Captain. It's about 1 million miles from the sun, hidden in the same kind of spacefold we discovered before. Thompson opened communication channels to every ship in the system. This is Captain Thompson of the Earth Defense Force. The weapon is about to fire. You need to evacuate your planets immediately. The response came from Admiral Veltar, commander of the Zentari home fleet. His four-armed form appeared on the screen, looking angry. Human captain, remove your primitive ships from Zentari space immediately. We do not need protection from beings who still use chemical rockets. Admiral, please listen to me. We have 18 minutes before the weapon fires. Your people will die if you don't evacuate them now. Admiral Veltar laughed. Humans, your fear is amusing. Our shields can protect us from any weapon. Centauri science is thousands of years ahead of yours. Thompson tried again and again, but the Zentari refused to listen. They were too proud to accept help from humans and too confident in their own technology. Dr. Martinez was watching her instruments carefully. Captain, the weapon is almost ready. Energy levels are climbing fast. How long? Maybe 10 minutes. Thompson made one last attempt to warn the Zentari. Admiral Veltar, I'm begging you. Look at your long-range sensors. You'll see the weapon charging up. Please save your people. But Admiral Veltar had already cut the communication. Dr. Martinez counted down the final minutes. Energy at maximum. The weapon is targeting the sun, firing in 60 seconds. The human ships moved to a safe distance, their experimental shields powered up to full strength. Thompson watched through his cameras as the ancient weapon became visible for just a moment, a dark shape against the stars. Weapon firing, Dr. Martinez announced. A pulse of dark energy shot from the weapon toward the Zentari sun. It was invisible to normal sensors, but Dr. Martinez's equipment tracked it all the way. The pulse hit the sun and disappeared inside. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. The Zentari ships continued their patrols. The planets kept spinning, peacefully around their star. Then the sun began to change. The weapon is affecting the sun's core, Dr. Martinez said, her voice full of horror. It's destabilizing the nuclear reactions that keep the star burning. The Zentari sun started to flicker. Its light grew brighter, then darker, then brighter again. On the planets below, billions of people looked up at their dying star and finally understood that the humans had been right. Captain, Ryan Davis said quietly, the Zentari fleet is trying to evacuate their planets now, but it's too late. Thompson watched as hundreds of Zentari ships raced toward their homeworld, trying desperately to save as many people as possible. But there were 8 billion Zentari on that planet, and only a few million could fit on the evacuation ships. The sun flickered one more time, then began to collapse. Supernova in 30 minutes, Dr. Martinez announced. Everything within 10 billion miles will be destroyed. The human ships recorded everything. They watched as the Zentari fleet saved less than 1% of their people. They recorded the final messages from the planet below, where billions of beings faced their death with dignity. Admiral Veltar sent one last transmission to the human ships. Captain Thompson, we were wrong. Tell the galaxy what happened here. Tell them the humans tried to save us. Then the sun exploded. The force of the supernova was beyond imagination. 4 planets with billions of years of history were vaporized in seconds. Space stations, orbital cities, and most of the Zentari fleet disappeared in the fire. The human ships, protected by their experimental shields, survived at the edge of the destruction. Dr. Martinez's equipment recorded every detail of the weapons. Terrible work. As they watched an entire civilization die, Thompson made a promise to himself. The galaxy would know what happened here. They would know that humans had tried to warn everyone, and they would know the price of ignoring those warnings. Behind them, where the Zentari system had been, there was now only an expanding cloud of superheated gas and the lonely ruins of what had once been a thriving world. The news spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. Commander Ryan Davis worked around the clock to broadcast the recorded footage of the Zentari system's destruction. Every alien government received the same terrible message. An entire civilization had been wiped out in minutes, and the humans had warned them it would happen. Captain Jake Thompson sat in his quarters aboard the UHS Defender, watching the responses pour in. The first came from the Altair Collective, the same government that had told humans to stop bothering them with unfounded fears. The Altair Prime Minister appeared on screen, his usual proud expression replaced by fear. Captain Thompson, the Altair Collective formally requests immediate assistance from the Earth Defense Force. We were wrong to dismiss your warnings. Please, we need your shield technology. Similar messages arrived every hour. The Helios Republic, which had called, humans clearly confused, now begged for protection. The Orion Trade Union, which had said human technology was too basic, offered to trade their entire treasury for access to human defensive systems. Admiral Patricia Wells found herself in the strangest situation of her career. Alien ambassadors who had ignored her people for months now waited in long lines outside her office, all desperate to speak with her. Ambassador Carol Hughes led the meetings with these former skeptics. The first was with the Altair delegation. 3 Altair officials sat across from her, their blue skin pale with worry. Ambassador Hughes, the lead Altair, said, "Our worlds are next on the Valdrin target list. Our scientists have studied your shield designs. They are beyond our understanding. Please help us save our people." Carol looked at them calmly. 3 months ago, you told us we were too primitive to understand galactic politics. You said our warnings were meaningless. The Altair official looked down at his hands. We were arrogant fools. 8 billion Zentari died because we all refused to listen. Please don't let our people suffer the same fate. Meanwhile, Dr. Lisa Martinez worked with teams of alien scientists who had suddenly become very interested in human technology. Species that had once considered human science primitive now studied every detail of her shield designs. Dr. Robert Kane found himself teaching physics to alien professors who had previously ignored human research. The key is understanding how dark matter interacts with normal matter, he explained to a group of Helios scientists. Your people have been studying this wrong for centuries. The alien scientists listened carefully, taking notes on everything he said. It was clear that human understanding of the universe was far more advanced than anyone had realized. But the most important visitor came on a Tuesday morning. Supreme Commander Thektar himself requested a meeting with Earth's leaders. Admiral Wells almost refused, but Carol Hughes convinced her to listen. Thektar appeared on the communication screen, but he looked different now. His black armor was damaged, and his reptilian face showed fear for the first time. Humans, Thektar said, his voice much quieter than before. The Dominion Alliance has betrayed me. They used my fleets to test the weapon, then declared me a failure for not controlling it properly. They plan to destroy the Valdrin homeworlds next. Admiral Wells leaned forward. Why should we help you? You threatened to destroy Earth. Because the weapon is out of control, Thektar replied. The ancient device was damaged when it destroyed the Zentari system. Now it fires randomly at any nearby star systems. My people will die, but so will yours. Everyone will die unless we stop it. Dr. Martinez, who was listening to the conversation, spoke up. Commander, our sensors show the weapon is still in the same location. How is it firing randomly? Thektar's image flickered as he transmitted technical data. The weapon can move through space folds. It appears near a star system, fires, then disappears. We cannot predict where it will strike next. This changed everything. Admiral Wells called an emergency meeting with all of Earth's leaders and their new alien allies. If Thektar is telling the truth, General Kevin Brooks said, then this isn't just about the Dominion Alliance anymore. This weapon is a threat to all life in the galaxy. Captain Thompson, who had returned to Earth after witnessing the Zentari destruction, spoke up. General, I've studied the weapon's energy patterns. Dr. Martinez is right that we can build shields to protect individual planets, but we can't shield the entire galaxy. Dr. Martinez nodded. The only way to stop this is to destroy the weapon itself, but it's protected by the most advanced technology we've ever seen. Ambassador Hughes looked around the room. Then we need the help of every race in the galaxy. Alone, none of us are strong enough. Together, we might have a chance. Over the next week, something unprecedented happened. Species that had been enemies for centuries agreed to work together under human leadership. The Altair Collective provided their fastest ships. The Helios Republic offered their most powerful weapons. Even small governments contributed what they could. Thektar proved his sincerity by providing detailed information about the weapon's location and defenses. The Dominion Alliance has 300 ships guarding it, he explained. But most of their commanders think like I used to think. They believe their technology makes them unbeatable. Captain Thompson found himself commanding the largest space fleet in galactic history. Ships from 40 different worlds followed his tactical plans. Dr. Martinez's shield technology protected vessels that had once threatened to destroy Earth. The final battle took place in deep space, far from any inhabited worlds. Thompson's combined fleet faced the Dominion Alliance armada near the ancient weapon, which hung in space like a dark sword waiting to strike again. All ships, this is Captain Thompson, he broadcast to the massive fleet. Remember, our goal is to destroy the weapon, not to win a war. Stay focused on the target. The battle was fierce but short. The Dominion Alliance ships were powerful, but their commanders had never faced an enemy that understood their weaknesses. Human tactical doctrine, combined with alien technology, proved superior to pure firepower. Dr. Martinez, aboard the Science Vessel Observer, guided the final attack. The weapon's power source is in the center section. If we can overload it, the whole device will destroy itself. Thompson led the final assault personally. His ship, the Defender, flew directly at the ancient weapon while the rest of the fleet held off the remaining enemy ships. At the last moment, he fired every weapon he had at the device's power core. The ancient weapon, which had slept for millions of years and awakened to bring death to the galaxy, finally died in a burst of light that could be seen from 1,000 light-years away. In the aftermath, as the combined fleet regrouped and counted their losses, something remarkable happened. Species that had never respected humans before came to thank them personally. The Altair Prime Minister spoke for many when he said, "Humanity saved us all, not just from the weapon, but from our own pride. You showed us that wisdom matters more than technology, and courage matters more than power." Dr. Lisa Martinez stood on the observation deck of Earth Station 5, looking out at a galaxy that had changed forever. Ships from dozens of worlds docked peacefully at human stations. Alien scientists worked alongside human researchers. Former enemies had become friends. Captain Thompson joined her at the window. "Think it will last?" he asked. Lisa smiled. "It has to. We all learned the same lesson. When someone warns you of danger, you listen. It doesn't matter how young or primitive they seem. It only matters whether they're right." Outside the window, the stars shone peacefully, no longer threatened by an ancient weapon. And among those stars, humanity had earned its place not as conquerors, but as the species, wise enough to warn others of danger and brave enough to stand against it.